Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders seeing what's current. Smoke them if you got them. Smoke those packs. Suzanne Summers, yes. 76 years. Just came in. 76 years old. She was an actress. She was from my childhood. I remember her most from Step by Step, Full House, all these different family programs. She was a health and wellness guru. Let me actually change the title. Let me see if I can change the title a little bit. Okay, good. All right, I spelled her name right. I'm flowing, boys and girls, flowing. Oh, it's a few more letters. Yeah, get your packs out. Smoke those packs. Smoke those wild health and fitness packs. Cause she was definitely into that. She was. I don't know. I don't think it was the Thigh Master. It was something like that though. It was. She was promoting it. She used to be on the infomercials with uh Chuck Norris, I think. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out now. I'm trying to see. She was just a bubbly, blonde. She's just a classic person. Maybe it wasn't Suzanne Summers with Chuck Norris, but I may have gotten that wrong. I take that back. But she was definitely in the fitness. Definitely was in the fitness. Her birthday is actually tomorrow. Would have been her 77th birthday. She died of breast cancer. She had previously had it in 2000 and had lumpectomy, and it reappeared this year, and it took her out. So you have your chance to smoke on your packs now. Let me see. She had what is this? She had a lot of as seen on TV stuff. She had a three-way poncho from Walgreens, as seen on TV. She was uncredited as Woman in Bullet, one of the greatest chase scene movies. She was in the Nutty Professor as the Thigh Master lady on TV, but she was uncredited. She just had a list of TV shows. She was on Three's Company. That's probably one of the other examples of how her fame reached out to people. She pretty much had that bit of fame from the 80s and then channeled it into the 90s. Greg asked, where you at? I'm here, Height. I'm here. I know it took a while, but I'm finally here. Who said that? But if you're still here, Height, I will appreciate your dollar and anything else because it goes to a good cause, my bank account. I haven't said that in a long time. I used to say that all the time back in the 2009 to 2010. I would say that. I said, it's all for a good cause. My bank account. That's what it's basically for. So, Suzanne Summers is out of here. She had a good run. I can't shed a tear for her. I really can't. Beautiful white woman. Lived in America. Lived the American dream. Became an actress. Got a shit ton of money. Had family and friends. She had a good life. It wasn't like she had a rough life and terrible and died in a concentration camp or something like that. But she had a good life. She had a good run. 77 years. That's a pretty good run. I would, if she didn't have cancer, she would probably had 80 or 90 or 100 years. But cancer is a bad mother. I'm not going to say the F word because of my algorithms. I'm not even going to test it. So, respect to her, salute to her, final salute to her, and we gotta remember the ones that are fallen. She's gonna be along that list now, the people that have fallen over the years, and it's just a shame because, like I said, she had all those different programs and she had different ideas towards health and wellness. I'll give you just a okay. Here's something interesting. Here's from Wikipedia. Some are supported bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna look that up. Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, or BHT, or natural hormone therapy, is the use of hormones that are identical on a molecular level with endogenous hormones in hormone replacement therapy. I still don't know what the hell is going on. It may also be combined with blood and saliva testing of hormone levels and the use of pharmacy compounding to obtain hormones in an effort to reach a targeted level of hormones in the body. It is all from Wikipedia, by the way. A number of claims by some proponents of BHT have not been confirmed through scientific testing. Pay attention, kids. Specific hormones used in BHT include estrone, estradiol, progesterone, testosterone, and dihydro epidendrosterone, DHEA. That should just be DHEA, and estriol. That she was on some next level. This is like super, way beyond what I'm used for. I could have no clue what any of this is. But she was into it. She abided by it. She said her book Ageless, get this, Ageless, included interviews with 16 practitioners of bioidentical hormone therapy, but gives extra discussion to one specific approach, the Wiley protocol. Now, this is interesting. What is the Wiley protocol? The Wiley protocol is a controversial form of bio BHRT. I'll just keep it at that. Devised and advocated by author T.S. Wiley. The protocol claims to relieve the symptoms of menopause, but also promote and increase overall health through the recreation of pre-menopausal women's monthly hormonal cycle using rhythmic doses of hormones standardized to a uniform purity. Whew. Wiley claims the protocol is a step beyond the symptomatic treatment of conventional hormone replacement therapy. Okay, this is like some stuff to me right now, but she was into it. She was into it. She was definitely into it. I know it's later. It's later in the day. People were waiting. Let them wait. That's what Michael Jackson said. Just let them wait. Just stand there and let them wait. I'll let you guys wait for 2 hours. But that just shows your respect and regard for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. I got one person in here at least, and one like, so I'm not mad. We're smoke. I'm not smoking, but you can smoke your Suzanne Summer pack right now. I'm gonna continue. Summers and T.S. Wiley, the originator of the Wiley Protocol, were criticized for their advocacy of the Wiley Protocol. Apparently, okay. A group of 7 doctors, all of whom utilized bioidentical hormone therapies to address health issues in women, issued a public letter to Summers and her publisher, Crown, in which they stated that the protocol is scientifically unproven in debt why this lack of medical and clinical qualifications. The use of bioidentical hormone therapies is a very controversial area of medicine. Its efficacy has never been tested, and numerous groups have expressed concern over its safety and misleading claims made by practitioners, which was the subject of an Associated Press article. And I quote from that was a quote from the Wikipedia page, but this is a quote from the Associated Press article. The problem for many doctors, these custom compounded products are not approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Here we go. Summers, whose hormone regimen involved creams, injections, and some 60 supplements daily, got a huge boost earlier this year from Oprah Winfrey. Many people with Suzanne off as a quackadoo, Winfrey said when Summers appeared on her show, but she just might be a pioneer. Yet Winfrey's tacit support of Summers gave her some of the worst press of her career. Crazy Talk, Newsweek, and headline an article of the talk show host earlier this year. Another headline on Salon.com: Oprah's bad medicine. So I'm a little ambivalent. I'm a little torn because I'm totally against the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. That's the for death agency, as Dr. Harry Binswanger calls it, because it's responsible for the deaths of many people, many people. So Suzanne Summers might have been on, the right track. Maybe not. It could have been. I mean, like I said, without the cancer, she could have probably lived to her hundreds. That's the saddest part. That's the tragedy in that, because she was not like a slouch. She wasn't like eating Doritos and dunking them in Dr. Pepper all day. She was actually working out and staying fit and trying to be trim and trying to look, younger and things of that nature. She was actually trying to do something. Okay, so in 2001, Summers was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had a lumpectomy, that's how I said, and radiation, but declined to undergo chemotherapy. I don't know, maybe that might be interesting. In November 2008, Summers announced she was diagnosed with inoperable cancer by 6 doctors, but she learned a week later that she was misdiagnosed by 6 doctors. Wow, 6 opinions. During this time, she interviewed doctors about cancer treatments, and these interviews became the basis of her book, Knockout, about alternative treatments to chemotherapy. In the book, Knockout, Summers promoted alternative cancer treatments, for which she was criticized by the American Cancer Society. The American Cancer Society is concerned. I am very afraid that people are going to listen to her message and follow what she says and be harmed by it, says Dr. Otis Brawley, the organization's chief medical officer. We use current treatments because they've been proven to prolong life. They've gone through a logical scientific method of evaluation. I don't know if Suzanne Summers even knows that is a logical scientific method. More broadly, Brawley is concerned that in the United States, celebrities or sports stars feel they can use their fame to dispense medical advice. There's a tendency to oversimplify medical messages. Well, oversimplification can kill. Very telling words right now, She was also opposed to water fluoridation, calling fluoride a toxic waste by product of the aluminum manufacturers. In January 2013, she suggested that Adam Lanza went on his shooting spree at Sandy Hook Elementary School due to the levels of toxin in his diet and the household cleaners he was exposed to. Okay, so she was definitely on some type stuff, during her life, So, she definitely had her run-ins with medicine and fitness and controversial methods of using hormones. Did that lead to her death? Was that what done her in? Is that what caused her to finally expire? I ask you. I just wanted to give that little bit of information about the late Suzanne Summers, now dead at 77. Rock and power. All right, I have to get to my top story besides this tonight, and then right when I say the Rock and Power, it goes to 0. That's because they were looking at 4, and I was just keeping them waiting. They couldn't wait that long. Yeah, I'm sorry for height. I'm not sorry for Greg Ass. I'll keep Greg Ass waiting for 5 hours. I'm not even worried about height. I mean, I'm Greg Ass. I have to show deference to height though, because he definitely spent Skrilla, dollars, ducats, Benjamins, not Benjamins yet, but dollars, coconuts, bananas, shells, coin, whatever you want to call it. All right, so my original top story was about Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson appeared on SNL last night and I think he's getting, rave reviews, especially for his package video that he made with the other SNL crew and the actors such as Bowen Yang and Punky Johnson, just to name a few. But it was excellent. It was one of the best pieces I've ever seen. He did a great job. He did a take on like I'm Just Ken from the Barbie movie, and he was just playing himself. He's giving all the jokes. Whoa, whoa, for the longest time. I can't sing, but Angie Cooper is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. You have made my day. Angie Cooper is definitely in the building. She is definitely here. When did she die? She died just today. I don't know the exact hour, but she Suzanne Summers, is that what you're referring to? Suzanne Summers perished on October 15th. See, it gets on some. Okay, I'll take that. You know what? I'll take that. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. I see it now. I see how it came up. It didn't show on my phone, my watch though. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't show up on my watch, but that's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's out here. We can still talk about her. I was talking about Pete Davidson, but we can get into her if you want to. I just was rattling off, her various wellness measures, and she was against fluoride, and she said that it was because the Sandy Hook killer did his terrible shootings because of his diet. She didn't have the most sound, I don't think, ideas, but I think she tried her best. And like I said, she had cancer. She had radiation therapy, but she denied to get chemotherapy. So, what products did you purchase of hers? I saw a poncho. She had that thing that crunches. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like two red bars that crunch like that. I don't even know what that's called. I can't remember what it was. You have to tell me. And thank you again for your donation. I appreciate it. So she was an American icon. Let's give her that much. She was welcome. The internet breaks up. Okay. Is it breaking up now? I hope it's not. I'm talking the whole way through. Let me say a word. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is it still breaking up? Is everything all right? You let me know. Does my mic sound nice? Is everything squared away and fit? Okay, you can hear better. Great. Okay, so I was just asking you, what products did you buy from her? What kind of products did you have from her? Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. Oh, vitamins and skincare. Okay. Okay. Yeah, she did use that. She had different creams and different things like that. Yeah. Like I said, she was a wellness and fitness guru. She was all about, keeping, fit, keeping together. And she looked good for 77. She didn't look like she was, frail and old and about to pass out, or she didn't look like a blimp. She had, she had a good run. I'm not going to shed a tear for her. She's a white woman that lived in America, made a shit ton of money, had a hell of a great life. Sadly, cancer took her out. In the month of breast cancer month, her birthday is tomorrow. Her what would have been her 77th birthday. She was actually 76. I think I put down that she was 77, but she died at the age of 76. Yeah, so if you want to talk about, we can talk about. But I was going to move on to Pete Davidson, and but I appreciate your donation, Angie Cooper, and yeah. So Suzanne Summers checking out, 76 years old. Yeah, so with with time, she'll probably have some kind of blockbuster. No. You do support the machine. You are a supporter. You're not a free rider. You're not a freeloader. You definitely support the machine. However small, I don't care. You gave money. You gave money, and that's what's important. I appreciate that. That's what counts. You have the effort. And you put in your hard-earned dollars into my machine. I respect that. Definitely. I thank you. I thank you for that. So like I said, if you want to continue with her, you can talk about it. We can talk about her. I'll pause. Yeah, thank you. So, shalom, peace, shalom. But Pete Davidson, I was talking about Pete Davidson. Um, uh, I was saying how he had a package on SNL talking about pretty much his whole vibe. How he looks like a meth head. How his eyes look like buttholes because they look discolored in front of the rest of his skin. His tattoos is they showed him off with dancers, and he's got all those relationships with women that he finds. And then the artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, uh, he's legally, I guess, contractually bound to not mention his name in public. So he just had a picture of him, a brief picture of him in the video, but it was funny. It was cute. It was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty on point. I thought it was well put together. Well, SNL does a great production job. Their production values, even if you're not laughing, you're at least admiring. How did they get those costumes? How did they get, how did they make sure the mics were on just right? How did they make sure, their production staff is like tremendous. They may not have get the best laughs all the time. They've been funnier as of late, and especially the segments like Weekend Update is usually funny. I didn't get a chance to watch up to that point yet, but I saw the Pete Davidson opening monologue, which I was waiting for him to say. He was, I don't know, he was saying, his father. If you're not familiar, his father, as a result of the September 11, 2001 attack, he was a fireman, and he was saying, he was trying to make a connection to that, and he was just saying, during the cold open, he was saying, how, both sides he had concern for, which is bullshit. He should have all the concern for Israel. I'm breaking up. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. Let me twist the knobs. I don't know. Nothing changed on my end. I don't know. Nothing changed on my end. But he tried to say like people in Palestine, Palestinians and Israel. Like you have to say all for Israel. It's like saying, we have to let some of Al Qaeda in Afghanistan. We have to understand them. Even though they plotted against us and destroyed the World Trade Centers and part of the Pentagon and the plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and killed, butchered nearly 3,000 American citizens. I mean, that's just how vicious, the ideas of the media. I think I'm not fully blaming Pete Davidson because he's probably getting it from news reports, Associated Press, and CBS, ABC, Al Jazeera, Fox, NBC. I mean, I can go on and on. They're all corrupt. They say war in or like Israel Hamas war, not Hamas war on Israel. We have to remember that Hamas started this war, and any Palestinian life, innocent, young, old, cradle to the baby, from the youngest crawling to the oldest walking, should have a rocket on them. And it's not going to be on Israel's hands. It's going to be on Hamas's hands. It's on the leaders of Hamas. None other. That has to happen. That should go down. No other way should that be possible. So that's what I'm saying for that. Am I still breaking up? Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's not breaking up on my end. I'm fine. I look great. I look wonderful. But if it's still breaking up on your end, just let me know. I'll see about the data and see if it is see if it changes. All right, so Pete Davidson, I'll give him a pass because he's just an entertainer. He's not military strategist. He's just a comedic person. He's just a comic. He's not somebody that's going to tell you the ins and outs and the history of the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. And it should be like the Palestinian conflict with Israel, because they started this. Israel didn't bring it upon themselves. That's the first thing people say. Well, they must have brought it upon themselves. Yeah, like we brought 9/11 upon ourselves. And people will say, yeah, well, America did. With what? Give me evidence. Show me the evidence that America brought 9/11 upon itself. That Israel brought this attack that happened last week on itself. Let me know. Then get back to me. Give me concrete examples. And I'm not saying that America or Israel are perfect. They're appeasers and altruistic in nature. They will give and give and give and say, we're going to let them vote and build up school systems and sewer systems and run this stuff. And it's like, for what? This is war. This isn't construction time. This is destruction time. Like, we have to get back to the ways of my favorite general, or my first or second favorite general, William Tecumseh Sherman. He said war is hell. And he said this a long time way before the Civil War. He was a Civil War general. And he said, South Carolina, you don't know what you're doing. And you don't have the capacity to make war. Hardly a ball of yarn can you fashion. I'm paraphrasing. Or a pair of shoes. You don't want this. You don't want to go up against the North. You really don't want it. We're going to destroy you. We're going to crush you. That was his words. And they did it. I mean, he especially, but I mean, other people like Grant and other generals, um, they fought and fought. It was the worst, uh, total of American lives lost. Over 500,000 lives, taken or just extinguished. That's the truth. That's a fact. That's reality. And that's the kind of mentality we should have with William Tecumseh Sherman had, even in more modern times. George S. Patton. Patton was a great general. He had the same idea. They call him blood and guts. He said, this is not play time. This is let's go in, crush them, and get the hell out of here. He didn't say that verbatim, but that was his spirit. That was his mindset. You don't pussyfoot around and say, oh well, we gotta be sure because there's just some children here and there's some grandparents there. And do we make sure there were children and grandparents were out of the way when we dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Tokyo, Dresden, which they say Dresden was more people killed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's truth. That's facts. You can look that up. Look that up. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm supposed to be talking about Pete Davidson. I'm gonna wrap up with Pete Davidson. I go off on a tangent. All right, so Pete Davidson had his own way of conveying all the issues that are going on in his life with this, video that was very well produced, very fun, very funny, and it just all tied together. And at the end, did anybody catch this? Did anybody catch this? If you saw the video, the car, they said Barbie turns to him and says, "You ready, Pete?" And he says, "I sure am, Barbie," or something like that. And then the car runs into the house. He says, "Oh, not again." That was because he ran into a house in Beverly Hills over the summer, just this past summer, and they made fun of that. They made light of that. He has to go through 50 hours of community service, and he has to appear for a judge, I think, or something like that, and probably have to go to rehab again. I don't know if he was under the influence, but it just shows that he ran into a house. He was very sleepy. I think he was. I think he was sleeping behind the wheel, and he just ran into a house. So I thought that was pretty. That's how they get their digs in. They get their digs in pretty well. He might have written that actually. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was the writer on that, but he agreed to it. He acted it out. He said, "Oh, not again." So, if you get a chance, make sure you see it. It's very interesting. All right, now I can talk a little bit about my Sundays. Sunday update. Went to church. Atheist in church again. Loving it. Love how I go to church. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful experience to watch all these so-called Christians in the house because they did something terrible during the week or something in their life, and they have to have that bit of atonement, I guess, in their spirit. But the main focus was the pastor of this church. I'm not going to give his name or the name of the church. I may have given the name of the church before, but I'm not going to name it now. Well, he had everything to say except we should bomb the shit out of them and keep it moving. Like, I was waiting for him to say it because this is the thing. They have Christian missionaries and they have Jewish people that receive them in Israel. He just got back from Israel over the summer. So he's very, keyed up and fired up about, Israeli, people from Israel. So he addressed in his he had a prayer. In his prayer he espoused the strength of the Lord and the God to send fire upon the land. I'm like, damn, this nigga's he's talking about putting fire upon the land, and I'm like, God damn, all right, I see you. I wasn't mad. I thought he was gonna say, well, we got to think about the people in Palestine, and oh, they're dying too, and we don't have enough people. This is where I thought he was going to go into all of that. I could have sworn he was going to go into. No, he was like, he said, put fire upon the land. He was saying everything except we got to bomb those sons of bitches. We got to put missiles down their throats and keep it moving. I mean, it's one thing I could say. Tell people in advance. I mean, I don't know about the pamphlets. I guess the pamphlets do work or they don't work, but months in advance, let everybody know, get the hell out. Get the hell out. All you so-called innocent people, get the hell out. Go to another country. Focus on Iran. Iran is the hornet's nest of all of this. It's like the joke, I think, what's his name? He's a papa right now. Louis Black. Louis Black said, he was trying to make a statement of both incidences with the Iraq War and Dick Cheney shooting the man in the face. He was like, let me see, I had to aim it right, so I shoot, and I shot the guy in the face, but I meant to, not shoot him in the face. It's like shooting him in the face was like Iraq, and he missed it by a letter, an N. Instead of a Q, he shot the N. Instead of an N, he shot the Q. That's what it's like. We should have been in Iran, not Iraq. We should have been in Saudi Arabia, not Afghanistan. That's the facts. Those are facts. So anybody in Iran, I know people that have people in Iran. I knew a girl that was in high school. She correct people when they say Iran. just that. It's that little bit. Just saying Iran. It's Iran, she said, with seriousness, with conviction. She'd be like, Iran. You fool, you infidel, you ingrate, you ungrateful son of a bitch. She was very adamant about it. And I try to say Iran. It doesn't matter either way. We should bomb all of their facilities that could or possibly even have an inkling of making nuclear weapons, no matter what. Just completely destroy them. Completely decimate, just completely level all sites that could possibly make nuclear weapons. And take out their regime. Just let their regime fall. Completely obliterate everything that's part of the Iranian regime. That's what needs to happen. That's how we become safe. That's how we become a nation that is proper and rational and ready for anything. Because if it can happen to Israel, why can't it happen to us again? Again, by the way, again. Israel and America are like good buddies. We train, we can laugh together, we can cry together, we can rest on each other's shoulders, but we're supposed to be, the strong ones in this, and Israel should be strong. But we both appease. America and Israel appease. They just cut off the lights. They just cut off the water and the resources. They should have done that never. They should have never had it in the first place for Palestine. There is no Palestinian state, really. It's just a region. It's not a country. It's just a region. It's just an area of land set aside for these brutal people who, if they had their way, would take away Israel and institute a system of complete tyranny and have it lord over serfs, just like most of the other dictatorships in the surrounding areas. Nobody has a right to make a totalitarian state. No one. You don't have that right. Israel is not a totalitarian state. It is more of a free state than anything else. It's the freest, at least, in that region. It's the most technological. It's the most rational. It's the most scientific. It's the most thoughtful. So if anything happens to America, we're going to be like, oh, we didn't see this coming. We didn't know. We thought it was just over in the Middle East. Oh, now we got to go to war again. And then, let's not have that happen. That doesn't have to happen. That doesn't have to happen. So, okay, so I'll go on my tangent, but that's what I got from the pastor. And it was interesting today because he had a statement from the book of Ruth. And he's just saying how Boaz was like a precursor or like a first or one of the first examples of how Jesus would arrive on the earth one day. And that was like the basis of his sermon. And he had the examples. He had 10 people sitting in the seat with a number holding up 1 through 10 in that order. And he was saying how those represent the commandments. And those are the 10 commandments. And that Boaz, his name comes up 20 times in Ruth. And that means he's 2 times above the law. Well, then that makes Jesus above the law. I was like, oh, this is my history lesson. I did not know this before. It was extraordinary. It made me really think. How in the world did all this occur? How in the world did all this go down? I didn't know about that before. And hey, I might still become a member. I don't know. I might do it. I might become a member. Because I'm getting lessons. And I'm going to be riding and freeloading like Rick James and Greg S. and Keith and all the other trolls that go on here. That don't spend a dime. Haven't spent a dime. May never spend a dime. Let's spend a dime when I'm dead. Like, oh, I'll give him some money for for his memory. I'll be dead with like tons of dollars, tons of funds, but they'll be saying, "Yeah, man, smoking that Scholar Pack, man. Here you go. It's my brother for real. Shout out to him." No, but the pastor was very adamant. He was very adamant about the Israeli situation, the Hamas situation. Really, Hamas's war. It's really Hamas's war against Israel. It's not Hamas-Israel war. It's Hamas's war against Israel. They have to say that verbatim because that's what it is. You can't. It's not just semantics. It's not. Oh, well, the words are the same, and then just put them together. And no, Hamas's war on Israel. Israel didn't send any of these. Boy, they had paragliders or something like that, and people running in on motorcycles and all kinds of mess. Just crazy. And of course, very serious. Very serious. No playtime here. Decapitating young babies, little babies. Really? See, that's the difference. When you bomb somebody, that's not personal. That's me. Look, I'm just bombing you. I don't know what's going to happen with the bomb. The bomb is going to blow somebody up, and I don't have anything to do with it. But it's personal when you're going up to an infant and you're slicing off their head. That is something that's not even human. That's debased. That is vicious beyond all recognition. That is horrific. Elderly people, because that's the thing. If you're a man, say, oh, he's a man. But, oh, young girl, what? A woman, what? A grandma, a grandpa? Totally different situation. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. That's what's so strange. That's what's so weird. That's what's so, glaringly obvious. But not obvious, apparently. Because you have all these CNN, MSNBC. They should be working for, Palestine. Same thing with Al Jazeera. I thought Al Jazeera was relatively objective. Relatively, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm reading, statements from them like, this is bullshit. They're lying, okay, here and not giving full context there, and complete bullshit there. That was complete bullshit. I was reading it from online. I'm like, this is not right. The history between Palestine and Israel, it was completely, devoid of objectivity and rational thought. It was horrible. So I would say that we have to be very careful. And I'm so glad. I'm not blessed. I'm not lucky. I'm very fortunate that I have objective reasoning on my side. That I know what objectivism is. It's part of objectivity is part of objectivism. Like you can be objective and be an objectivist. So I'm an objectivist who is objective, who knows the difference between truth and things that are scattered or that are not factual, that are not part of the reality based idealism. That's what the main focus is. That's what it's all about, really. So this hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to talk about this pastors. Hold on. Hold on just 1 second.